They didn't go for a vacation, they went for deals. And in 48 hours, the White House announced $250 billion in agreements. But here's the part the headlines aren't telling you. Who actually walked away with what? Was this a win for America? Or a masterclass by China in keeping its enemies close? Stay with me, because in the next 5 minutes, I'm going to break down exactly who got what and who got played. To understand what just happened in Beijing, you need to know the context. Since Trump returned to office, he launched what he called Liberation Day tariffs, sweeping duties on Chinese goods designed to force Beijing to the table. China hit back hard. At one point, tariffs on American goods reached 125% on the Chinese side and 145% on the US side. That's not a trade war, that's economic warfare. American companies were bleeding. Boeing couldn't sell planes. Nvidia couldn't sell chips. Apple was scrambling to move iPhone manufacturing to India. So Trump did what Trump does. He turned it into a show. He packed Air Force One with the most powerful names in American business and flew to Beijing. The message to Xi Jinping was simple: open your market or lose access to our best companies. But Beijing had its own message ready. So what did they actually get? The White House said fantastic trade deals were made. Trump told reporters, and I quote, "This has been an incredible visit. We've made some fantastic trade deals. Great for both countries." Here's what we know was announced. China agreed to order 200 Boeing jets, a massive win for Boeing, which desperately needs the revenue. China committed to buying agricultural goods in the double-digit billions, meaning at least $10 billion plus in American farm products. Nvidia's H200 chip sales to China got the green light, opening a major AI technology market that was locked for years. Xi Jinping personally told the CEOs that China's door will only open wider, a direct signal to encourage more American business investment. But here's the problem, and Wall Street noticed immediately. The details were vague, almost dangerously vague. When markets heard the announcements with no firm signed contracts, Dow futures dropped 300 points. S&P 500 futures fell 1%. The Nasdaq dropped 1.4%. Investors essentially said, "We've heard this before." And they have. In 2017, Trump's first China visit produced $250 billion in announced deals, including a commitment for China to buy 300 Boeing jets that was never fulfilled. History might be rhyming. The real winners, what China got. Now here's the angle nobody wants to talk about. What did China get from all of this? Think about it. China got the President of the United States, the most powerful man in the world, to fly to Beijing with a private army of billionaires, essentially asking to do business. That image alone is priceless propaganda for Xi Jinping. China also controls most of the world's rare earth metals, the materials that power everything from iPhones to fighter jets. In 2025, Beijing restricted exports of critical rare earths, which sent shockwaves through American tech companies. As part of earlier negotiations, China paused some of those restrictions. That pause gave China enormous leverage going into this summit. And now, with American companies publicly committed to investing in China, with Tesla expanding in Shanghai, with Nvidia selling chips, with Apple keeping its factories, China has locked in American economic dependency all over again. Xi didn't just open the door, he made sure the Americans would keep knocking. That's not losing a negotiation, that might be winning one. The big question and CTA. So, did America win in Beijing? Did the billionaires get what they came for? The honest answer is, partially and maybe temporarily. Boeing might get jet orders if China follows through this time. Nvidia might unlock a billion-dollar chip market if regulations hold. Tesla keeps its foothold, but it's competing with a rising Chinese EV market. And the $250 billion? Still mostly promises on paper. What is certain is this: the world's two biggest economies need each other, and both sides know it. That dependency is both America's greatest leverage and its greatest vulnerability. The next 90 days will tell us whether this was a historic trade breakthrough or just the most expensive photo opportunity in history. Drop your take in the comments. Do you think America won this deal or got played? Hit subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next.